Hello, everybody. It is the American Doofus Show. Don't be a doofus. I'm your host, Barry Welsh. Thanks for watching. We've got three stories tonight that we're going to be talking about. First, we're going to talk about the U.S. Senate election in Georgia and the importance that the hip hop community in Atlanta is playing in that election, and the importance that the hip hop community in Atlanta played in getting Donald Trump out of the White House. So that's a little bit of a feel good story, if you will. The second story is not a feel good story. Basically, it exemplifies racism in America. And then finally, going to play a video that's NFAC and Grandmaster Jay related. And we'll do that in just a few minutes. But right now, let's talk a little bit about what's going on in Atlanta. There are two Senate seats up for election in Georgia. It is a special runoff. Normally, a state only has one senator up for election at a time. But due to circumstances, there is a runoff, and there are two Democrats and two Republicans running in the state of Georgia. And as with the presidential election, Georgia and specifically Atlanta are going to be crucial in this upcoming election. Now, there are those that think being involved in politics actually doesn't amount to anything, nothing changes. When in fact, the only way that we get legitimate change is by impacting in politics. And the hip hop artists in Atlanta understand it. And give credit where credit is due. I found this article on CNN. It's titled, How Atlanta Rappers Helped Flip the White House and They're Hustling to Flip the U.S. Senate. Anger, fear, new voters, PAC money, minority turnouts. These are often credited with shaping elections. What you don't often hear is that rappers in the hip hop modern mecca educated voters and got them to the polls to help bounce an incumbent out of the White House. That's what happened in November. Atlanta's hip hop community hit the streets, beauty and barbershops, took to Instagram and YouTube, and helmed voter drives to help turn Georgia from red to blue, and they're working to flip the U.S. Senate in the state's runoff elections next week. Now, that may be a little bit of a stereotype saying that they're hitting barbershops and beauty shops as if, anyway. This isn't to say Atlanta rappers alone secured President Joe Biden's big win, but when one considers Biden's victory hinged on flipping a handful of states and that hadn't voted for a Democrat, Georgia hadn't voted for a Democrat for the presidential election since 1992, Georgia was decided by less than 13,000 out of 5 million votes. So that shows you that every vote counted. Now, minus the hip hop involvement, we might not have had the same outcome, said Killer Mike, one half of Run the Jewels and a 20-year veteran of his hometown rap scene. I don't know of one person in hip hop who did not do something, from Mingos to Lil Baby. I've seen everyone from our community take part in some way. The 2020 elections demonstrated that every vote does indeed matter. What that means is in places like Atlanta, Georgia, and more broadly in places that were so closely contested that every single effort to get out the vote was absolutely essential for the outcome we got. Artists like Killer Mike, like T.I., Usher, Janelle Monáe, they appreciate the celebrity platform and also the duties of citizenship that require them to be engaged in using their platform to transform politics. And that's the only way we transform anything is through politics peacefully. And not enough credit was given, has been given, or will be given, but we're going to do it right now. It was the communities of color that got Trump out of the White House. He's not out yet, but due process, and if all plays out as it should, he will be January 20th as of noon. And this vote in the Senate is incredibly important because the balance of the Senate hangs in power. If the two senators from Georgia, if they're both Democrats, Democrats control the Senate. If they are Republicans, Republicans maintain control of the Senate. And we've seen what Mitch McConnell does when Republicans are in control of the Senate. So it's important to recognize the work that's being done. And it's important if you're in that area or you can anyway get to that area to help in the battle to secure democracy in the United States with the two Democrats being elected, then by all means, please do so. Now, this next story, basically this next story just defines racism in America.
A wild confrontation with racial overtones to tell you about happened in the lobby of a Tony Hotel in Soho, Manhattan. A white woman accusing a 14-year-old black teenager of stealing her phone. That video going viral tonight, and it turns out the boy never stole her phone. With the story, here's Sonia Rincon.
Imagine someone falsely accusing your teenage child of stealing an iPhone. That's what happened here in the lobby of the Arlo Hotel in Soho on Saturday.
My phone. Tell me, no, take your face off, that's mine. You literally didn't get it back. Are you kidding me? You feel like there's only one iPhone made in the world?
This video was taken by Grammy-winning jazz musician Keon Harold. He and his 14-year-old son, Keon Jr., were guests at the hotel. He says when a hotel employee intervened, the employee asked Harold's son to show her his phone rather than asking the woman to leave him alone.
No, but you're not helping. What you did is disrespectful.
The video, which has been viewed more than 1 million times, lasts for 1 minute. But Harold claims this all went on for 5 minutes and that the woman eventually tackled his son. He also says he later learned that her missing phone was returned to her by the driver of the Uber she'd left it in.
It's just unbelievable that someone would literally have the audacity to assume and wrongfully accuse, my son who's 14 years old, not ever seen him, we never met this person before, that he had.
That was obviously a woman that assumed the absolute worst in someone simply because of the pigment of their skin. That is the definition of racism. Our final story tonight is a video that is about the NFAC and Grandmaster Jay. Now, if you are a supporter of the NFAC and Grandmaster Jay, portions of this video will probably make you angry, or they'll make you laugh at the foolishness of it. It depends on your perspectives. But as this channel has been documenting the NFAC and Grandmaster Jay all throughout, we will continue to do so. And that includes what's being said by those in opposition. So let's take a listen.
I didn't join for Grandmaster Jay, and I didn't join for NFAC. I didn't join for the clout. I joined for everybody that was coming together in those formations. So with that being said, y'all should know that I'm not attached to any chapter. I'm independent. I'm by myself. Every time I went out, I went by myself. I did everything by my choice. So with that being said, I know just as much as y'all know.
Oh shit, I forgot to tell y'all. NFAC. Y'all ready to get a paycheck?
Oh, hell yeah.
I want to give everybody that's been going in their pocket to make this shit happen. Up to this point, we ain't accept no donations or nothing.
We wanted to show y'all that group economics work, that we can spend our own money to do our own thing, but that shit is over.
All right, so what he's talking about here is they were spending their own money to get to these rallies and stuff like that. But now he's saying that's over because he's got donations coming in.
How many of y'all have ever heard me talk about the army? And you only have to contribute $10 a month. And you only need how many people? 20 million. Guess how many we got? 43 million.
So he's talking about building an army. Militia is no longer on the table. He wants a standing army of 55 or 75,000 soldiers that will be supported by 20 million donors who will give $10 apiece.
I'm pausing this for just a minute because those of us that have followed know that this is obviously using old video material. The video that's being shown is from the Lafayette, Louisiana formation at the end of the formation with the speech Grandmaster Jay was given. And a couple of other things. All of these formations, they were not meant to be of military consequence. They were meant to be of political consequence, in my opinion. They were to be displays of power and potential power, and not necessarily shows of force. So I think it's important to hear what this what the commentator is saying. Now, it says on here that it's Baba Yaga, and that the video came from someone called the Warthog, but this is what some in the white community and not a small portion are thinking.
And so far, he's telling them now that he's ready to start paying them. He's ready to start paying his army $1,500 or $15,000 a month because they've got 43 million donors donating $10 a month. So he's got $430 million is what he's telling everybody. And he's going to start giving everybody paychecks.
That, of course, is not what he was saying.
To this money, y'all see how we broke it down, right? Yeah. That means that each and every one of you will get a paycheck. Some extra money in your pocket. More than the stimulus. It's more than what you got from the government when they took away your shit. So cool. Now everybody gonna want to join in. Until 2-3 motherfuckers get killed. But we got a good record, though. So I want y'all to know what we're working on for you.
Well, good record is debatable. But I want to hear more about your army shit. That's what I want to hear about.
Yeah, how many people served in the military? So y'all already know how LES work. Allotments, all that good shit.
LES, it's your pay stub. Lets you know how much leave you got left. Lets you know how much money you earned, where your money went, whether you're putting it into education, whether you're sending money home, putting it into a bank. The fuck is that?
Y'all laughing. I used to be the F1. I was the one that can't tell you why.
Now this guy's saying he was the S1. What do you want me to do? I can't tell you why. Paper pusher. I don't know about the talk. 90 days caught out in the talk, like I spoke about in my last video, all this shit that he talked about being a war fighter. This is why this guy doesn't know jack shit about being a war fighter.
That's also going to include an additional $112 million for new equipment, facilities, training, vehicles, and a whole lot of other shit.
All right, who in their right mind broadcasts right out there in the open that they got another $112 million for equipment, vehicles, training facilities, and a whole lot of other shit?
He did not say
right
that.
Out in the open, and he's telling.
Just to be clear, Grandmaster Jay did not say that. What he said in that speech was that the goal was to obtain that much, not that they had that much at the moment. So The whole thing is a fabrication, of course, but it's important to know what others are saying.
Everyone, we're building an army. We're going to pay you, and we are going to give you a receipt. We're going to give you a leave and earnings statement, just like the military does. I'm real curious as to how he's going to pull this off. I got a message for you, Jay. You are sorely. You could get 100,000. You could get an army of 1,000,000. You will be out-trained, outnumbered, outgunned. There's nothing that you will be able to do with your army inside of the United States of America. Now, if you want to go to some other country and roll the dice over there, you're more than welcome to do so. Okay? But here in the United States, are you out of your fucking mind? And any of you assholes out there that will want to follow him, and there are some gun channels on YouTube that follow this guy dearly. If idiots like you are buying into this shit, you are one dumb motherfucker. You really are. It's America who gives you the freedom to walk around the streets with those arms. Once you say you want to have a standing military within U.S. borders, you will be crushed. And even if our military stood aside, you would still be crushed. As a closing thought, I just want to say this, okay? First of all, what are you going to do? You're going to keep your army in the cities? So everybody who gets paid in your standing army, who gets extra pocket money, so then they'll drive around in new vehicles and get new gear and stuff like that, are they going to live at home? Or are they going to move into these cities? Where are you guys going to be like located, all right? Because I'm going to tell you right now, drug dealers, gangsters, all of these people that are out currently making a lot of money in these cities, they're not going to want you there policing them, all right? They will kill you. So you might as well end that. From the government's point of view, they're going to let you form. That's what they're going to do. They're going to let you form, and they're going to let you get all your equipment. They're going to let you spend all your money, and then they're going to come in there, and they're going to take it from you. That's exactly what they're going to do. So you don't have to wait to see what you're going to order. Go ahead and order it. And they're going to shut down your training facilities, and they're going to take it from you.
I'm just going to pause here for just a second to point out that obviously the commentator is very misinformed because Grandmaster Jay is currently under arrest and is not actively doing anything. He's under house arrest, basically. And yet still all of this keeps coming out. And you have to wonder, is it based on fear of what would happen if the Black community didn't unite? Or is this just someone talking down to a people that he does not consider his equal?
And you know what? And even if they didn't, there are over 100 million armed Americans in the United States already. We're waiting to buy new guns and new equipment. We got them. We know how to use it. We know how to fight. And we are proven war fighters. We will.
I'm wondering if Call of Duty is what qualifies some as proven war fighters, but I digress.
Outthink you, outmaneuver you. Just pray it doesn't come to that, Jay. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Because this shit about you showing up at parks and calling people out like you were in the 1800s with two standing armies shooting at one another. Real war fighters know wars don't go down that way. We will end you. So your best bet, steal the money. All those millions of dollars that are coming in, I mean, you're going to steal a whole bunch anyway. But steal it. Leave the country. But don't do this foolishness that you're thinking of doing. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm pretty sure the government will end you, all right? But if they do not, the American people will. American American patriots will. We don't need to be out there flashing our guns and marching. We don't need to be out there. We got them right where we need them. Zeroed, ready to roll.
Once again, a potential example of confusing patriotism with racism.
Only a fucking idiot would want an army, because you didn't have the heart when you were in the army to be a warfighter. So what would make you think that you would be a warfighter now? And any of you fools who believe that, you just go on keep believing that. If Jay gives you money, take it. Take the money. Take it all. Take the guns. Put them in your safe at home. You're an American. You should have them. Don't go out in the street and fight America. You can't win. You should know that by now. We never lose. Ever. So all my brothers in arms out there, tell me what you think about this down in the comments below. Practice proper firearm safety technique at all times. Charlie Mike. Charlie Mike. That means continue the mission for all you non-war fighting motherfuckers. Oh shit. Almost forgot. Gotta do the NFAC anthem.
Get your weapons up in the air.
Put the gun.
All right, here we go. Everybody repeat after me. I.
Did you think I was really gonna play that stupid shit on here?
So, what's really going on? Is it is this about keeping Trump in power, or is there something more involved? Because Trump was never mentioned anywhere in that. It was all about downgrading, degrading, dismissing Grandmaster Jay, and all about telling Black people to basically stay in your place, if you will, or at least that's how it came across to me. And as far as 100 million armed Americans, not all of them think exactly the same way or even close to the same way as the commentator. And while he's given to his opinion, so are each one of us. And it's, as always, just something to think about. Something to think about. We have to keep an eye on the rhetoric. We have to see what everyone is saying, because we're not exactly sure what's going on. Is this about Trump? Is this about race? Is this the RAHOWA, the religious holy war, as ugly as it sounds, or the racial holy war? As ugly as it sounds, there were some undertones there that Black people need to mind their place, that you need to be afraid. And it's the wrong time to be calling out anyone, in my opinion. And videos like that are dangerous. And one other thing I wanted to mention, I don't know if NFAC Ghost was used in that video with his permission, or if that was if there was a clip of him and it was just manipulated. That's kind of what I'm anticipating we find out happening. And NFAC Ghost, if you happen to see this, I've invited you on the show before, and you're more than welcome to come on and talk, as is anyone. We listen to all sides, we hear all things, and we call out things that aren't true. It's the American Doofus Show. Until next time, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. You got somebody to love, hold on to them. If not, try to find somebody to love. 2020 is almost over. 2021 is not going to start out any better, but hopefully by the end we'll be in a brighter place, because it's dark right now. So try to be a light. And it's the American Doofus Show. Don't be a doofus. I'm your host, Barry Welsh. Until next time, I love you all. Take care of yourselves and each other, and stay alive.